Hey all, Mac here. It's been a bit. I've been playing solo self-found PoE 2 early access after getting hacked in trade, and I have since been having a lot of fun just kind of building a character from scratch. Now, I'm playing a pretty meta build, I think. I don't know if you would say Deadeye Spark is meta, but like, it's two meta things, meta ascendancy, meta skill. Nevertheless, I'll get into the build a little bit later. First off, I just wanted to say the mic's a little bit cooked, sorry. I am at school, so I don't really have a real setup right now. Probably won't change for a little bit, so you'll just have to deal with this. Apologies, and I hope it's not too distracting. Now, the main thing with SSF, honestly, is you get to play the game like a little bit differently. You don't have to worry about trading or item values, right? So you're not pressured by doing content that may or may not be quote unquote profitable. Instead, it's just kind of like a pay of your own adventure. You can kind of play how you want. The downside to SSF is obviously you don't have access to trade, so a lot of the items that you get just feel really worthless, like really good uniques that could be build enabling just aren't that great unless you want a full reroll. And that's been the case in PoE 1 as well, albeit a little less forgiving in PoE 2. Now, I think SSF is pretty great in terms of its balancing, actually. I think the crafting is already bad enough in normal, anyways, that it doesn't feel too much worse here. Mainly with SSF, it's that Chaos Orbs are really rare and annulments don't really exist, so you're kind of stuck playing 3 mod items for a while, which is fine. Another big issue is that gold is kind of like your lifeblood for early gearing. I got most of this gear from Alva, so that should tell you, like how the actual like item acquisition and crafting system is. Like how you craft in SSF is you just collect a bunch of the bases of the items that you want, specifically like the highest, just the highest type expert, whatever evasion armor, yes, you play, and yeah. But otherwise, like the other mechanics, I think Expedition just feels way too watered down for SSF. It might be okay, but I've interacted with it long enough in standard that I just don't really think it's worth it. Breach is really nice for getting currency. It's kind of what I'm playing for the most part now. And the other two, like Ritual and Delirium, are kind of up in the air. I think Ritual might be alright, but I just don't want to interact with it in SSF. There's not as much value. Um, Besides Ingenuity, which will be an item I chase after later. Now, I think that the current build is actually pretty solid for just like mapping and acquiring currency. My entire goal of picking Spark was actually a pivot from Ranger. I originally wanted to play like some meta, like Ice Shot, whatever, screen clear, just so I could like farm fast. And somewhere along the line, I got a +2 wand, and then eventually a Widow Hail, and this, and now I'm just playing Ranger. I had a really crazy wand. This might actually be more damage, I think. With this, I have a really bad focus, but I don't know. I think Widow Hail is really cool, so I stuck with this. Um, but yeah, this build has been really great in just like being able to clear breaches and maps pretty fast, and overall is tanky enough to where I don't get one shot by monster attacks. I'll get one shot by like odd death effects, but that's nothing new. For the most part, I just wanted to farm to be able to make stuff for other builds, and I wanted a decent pool of stuff to work with in case I run short on time, which is likely to happen during my semester. And I obviously won't be uploading as regularly either. That's alright though. So this build is going to be using Deadeye, and the reason why I picked Deadeye is for mainly Far Shot and the Tailwind stacks. So you get 10 stacks of Tailwind. It gives you 30% skill speed and 150% evasion and 10% move speed, which is really nice for just general mapping. You'll notice I like bosses and stuff too, but my evasion sits at 61%, which is really bad, but it's better than sitting at like 40, right? So Tailwind's really powerful. Also, the first hit I take is going to be reduced by 30%, the damage, which is enough to like prevent a strict one shot for the most part, unless it's like a non-death. And that's like really powerful for mapping, I think, because then I can just reactively pop HP. And then so Far Shot, I think this works with Spark. I mean, it works from projectile. I just don't know if it's from where I stand and it's a vector out wherever it goes, or if it's true distance traveled. I'm hoping it's true distance traveled because then proj speed becomes really valuable for far shot. But yeah, this was honestly just like something I thought was kind of viable. The additional projectile is kind of worthless. You don't even need the fourth ascendancy to play this. Honestly, it's +1 to 20 projectiles. You're taking a lot of like the equip quiver effect nodes here, so that you can buff up this basically all the stats on the quiver. I rolled really low proj speed, but it is what it is. You know, like it could go up to 40%, which is really nasty, and it actually does a lot of damage. And I think it's like one of the best clearers right now. Besides that, it's your usual suspects for Shock Spark. I'm playing Shock Magnitude Spark because I just have a decent bit of shock, you know. But you can also play Electrocute for a little bit more safety. Like if you want to take out, I don't know, you like take out something for it, and you can just play Electrocute. I've been farming Kitokos, right, and like it just hasn't dropped, so I can't like Electrocute for free, which is unfortunate. So I'm playing this for now until I get like a perfect jewelers or something. Speaking of which, I think currency honestly is okay if you run rarity. I've gotten 8 greater jewelers now, which is honestly surprising to me. No perfects yet, but I'm sure I'll find one. I think the big thing again is just like chaos orbs and moments are really too rare. Overall, leveling this build, I literally just leveled with Spark after I got a good wand. Before that, it was just Lightning Arrow and Lightning Rod. Yeah, it's been quite a lot of fun. I hope I can make some like more guides later. I don't really have too much to show for this build. I'd prefer to actually do a full guide of it once I have it kind of like min-max, but I don't think I'm gonna min-max it to a disgusting point in SSF. But I'll be testing some other stuff as time goes on. And of course, I was also expecting this build to be nerfed, but that has yet to happen, so we'll see how that goes. If they nerf it hard enough, I will probably pivot and make an update video on that. But anyways, just a small quick update video. Honestly, don't feel too bad about the hack. It was kind of nice to get a new fresh start. I really enjoyed the campaign. I advise people to like just reapproach it fresh again. It's always fun going through it the first time, I think, as miserable as that sounds, but it is fun. So, until next time, ciao.